Okay. Sorry, I had to get everything set up. And I can't do it until I come on. Grand Rising, Queen. How you doing? Rochelle checking in. We coming at you earlier today. All right, we got 4 segments to do today. And besides, I was just feeling like going live early today. I don't want to keep you all too long. How's everybody doing this morning? I hope all is well. It's a balmy 54 degrees here in the A. We're expecting sunny skies, and the high today is supposed to be 79, so can't wait for it to warm up. Rochelle says, I'm blessed and highly favored. Amen. I love it. I love it. Praise his holy name. I love it. Let's get set up for this first segment here. Now, I'm actually going to talk about it. I had a couple of my hold on, drink before I knock it over because that's something I would do. And it's only coffee TikTok. Salute to my coffee drinkers, tea drinkers. Um, so I had a couple of my moderators bring this topic up and said that we needed to talk about it, and like I said, to me, and I may be biased, but I'm gonna say it. I have the best moderating team I think out there right now. They stay on me. They stay on me. They hold me accountable. They check me when I'm wrong. And it's all out of love. There's no um you know animosity or anything of that nature. I just know they're trying to grow and better the platform just as much as I want to. So I love all of them, and I'm thankful for them. They don't have to do this, but they still find time out of their day to do so. All right, so I just want to give it up for them. All right, let's get going. Let's get going. So, for those of you that's new, because I see a lot of new faces coming in, first of all, welcome, welcome. And I'm glad you came here and decided to spend your morning with me. Now, I am Mr. Breaking News, your self proclaimed favorite news reporter. And what I do here and the show is called hashtag I'm going to say it. It's where we take events that's going on today and we speak on them. And some things we say you're going to like, and some things we say you're not going to like. But either way, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it.
All things said in today's show are all alleged and for entertainment purposes only. We ask that if you are below the age of 18, to please leave the live now.
So segment 1 is going to be on Aaliyah's backup dancer breaks her silence on the video Rock the Boat. Now that was I think one of the last, I think that was the last music video that Aaliyah, aka Baby Girl, actually filmed before her untimely passing. And I mean, I think everybody can be in agreement when we say that the music world lost a precious and beautiful voice when she passed away. But the thing about it's been since she passed away, it's been talks on was her unaliving due to um, jealous competitor or jealous uh, women who were in the same genre of music, or R&B singer. What did they move her out the way? Is that why she was passed? I mean, is that why she was unalived? And then you have some people who have said, well, it could be from jealousy from somebody who's a major player in the hip hop game because he didn't win her over, I guess, or she chose his business partner over him. JC Cruiser, good morning. Good morning. we got a lot of different we got 4 different topics today that we're going to speak on. But right now we're talking about Aaliyah's backup dancer, finally breaking her silence. And so this segment's source cred goes to my man Jamel, aka Jamal. Once again, he's an awesome content creator. I love how he carries an unbiased analysis on things, and you have to do that in this line of work. You're welcome, JC. Hey, and thank you for joining. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the audio. As I said, we got like 4 segments to do, so we'll be listening to 4 different things today. But and we'll talk about it as we go along.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel again. Look, Aaliyah's dancer breaks silence on Rock the Boat. My wife had sent me something on Instagram. It was like an article, but this, let me see, because I typed it in, and this is Tony Turner video here. That's the title, Aaliyah's dancer breaks silence on Rock the Boat. Aaliyah been gone for a long time, man. Rest in peace. But I just want to see what she has to say, because we all know, or you guys, I don't know if you're up to date about the whole situation where Maxwell sent Aaliyah a plane, but
Um, Not to disrespect Jamel, aka Jamal, or anything like that. He's doing awesome, but I just want to point out that it wasn't Maxwell that offered his private jet or plane to Aaliyah. That was actually Lenny Kravitz.
what's his name? Hype Williams was the one who got on it, and it was really, really sketchy. I always say when like celebrities pass away, especially at such a young age, to me, it's always very odd and strange. Always. But we gonna check this out again. Appreciate all the love and support. We ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
Let's go.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning back in. I'm back with another Aaliyah video, and this comes in a spontaneous way because one of her background dancers from the Rock the Boat video finally decided to speak out 24 years later. Not saying anything because I know how traumatic that was, and I can only imagine how traumatic that was. Dancing with Aaliyah, getting this opportunity, and then a tragedy like that happens. A quote-unquote accident like that happens. There's so much mystery and allure with that accident, but now 24 years later, Leslie Nicole Lewis, who's a veteran in this industry, who danced with Aaliyah and Rock the Boat and More Than a Woman, finally decided to come out and speak her piece on the situation. So if you didn't know, Sean from Boys and Men has his podcast, and he had Leslie Nicole Lewis as a guest. And he was speaking about his experience meeting Aaliyah. She talked about her experience working with Aaliyah and leading up to that fateful shoot. And even she said in the interview, I'm gonna play the whole thing, where she was like, okay.
It's crazy when you see her and Aaliyah. I'll be seeing like some videos of people, they be making like celebrities that passed away and like what they would look like today. I seen someone did one on Aaliyah, Tupac,
That's his dog,
like
not mine.
Selena.
I
And
don't
you
have
kind of
I don't
looking
have
like, would they look like this? And then you see her and how she looked, like she still look young. So she would have been aging gracefully, man. Sad.
We was in Miami, we did this, we did that, and then we went all the way to the Bahamas for an 8 count. Like, okay, you going to the Bahamas and we only gonna do like a little dance on a boat? Couldn't we have stayed in Miami? She didn't say that verbatim, but you get that kind of hint.
I don't know how many of you all have been to Miami or anything like that, but I've been twice. And of course, just like with any place, of course, it's depends on what part of Miami you go to. But the part that I went to, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't want to leave. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. In fact, I wanted to get lost on purpose so I couldn't leave, so I could just stay there, right? But so I bring that up because if that was the kind of image or vision that Hype Williams had allegedly for her video shoot, well then that's right in what she's saying. Like, they could have done it in Miami. They didn't have to fly anywhere else. And maybe if they would have done that, there's a good chance, a strong possibility that Aaliyah wouldn't have never passed away.
And what she was saying. And that's another thing that got me about the video shoot. When you really look at the video, they only went to the Bahamas for them to do the little dance on a yacht and for Aaliyah to dirty wine on the beach. She even described getting on the plane from Miami to the Bahamas. She felt a little sketchy. Let's take a listen.
Cycle, like,
So we flew to Miami. Hype Williams was the director.
shout out to Hype.
Part of it was basically we were shooting more.
That man said, he said, shout out to Hype. See, again, man, I don't know who be, when stuff comes out, who people be like, I don't believe that about Hype. Or people just so into the industry that they have to somewhat ignore things that are being said, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty.
We got to remember, man, back in the 90s, Hype Williams is one of the premier video producers in the industry. I think it was, and don't quote me on this, like what the 90s has been decades ago, but I think it was, I know Hype Williams, but I think the other one was F. Gary Gray, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think that was another prominent producer when it came to videos.
Sure that Sean knows about the stories, about the whole, the drama surrounding her death. And he was like, shout out to Hype. As you got like her dancer right here speaking on her. That just felt weird, man. Kind of weird.
And a woman and Rock the Boat at the same, it was a 2-day shoot, or probably more than 2 days. We flew to Miami, we shot More Than a Woman, and then we flew from Miami to the Bahamas to shoot Rock the Boat.
Wow.
So that's kind of how that, so yeah, even though More Than a Woman, I can't remember which one got released first.
Let me make sure I give everybody their credit on this too. So even though I told you the video that we are listening to right now is of Jamel, aka Jamal, but the interview that he's playing is from one of the singers from Boys to Men. Sean is his name. I can't remember his last name, but Sean.
But we shot both of the videos back to back with Hype.
I think Rock the Boat was released first, because I think after.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
Even though we shot that one after.
Both records
and flying to the Bahamas, we said all of this for an 8 count. Like the planes felt sketchy because they were tiny,
Now,
smaller
see?
planes,
Now look,
and
so
I
listen,
have.
Even before they got on the plane to go to the Bahamas, she's saying they already felt uneasy, unsettled by it. Okay, so like, of course, they made it there, and so I'm assuming that everything was everything after that. But they had reservations before they even flew over there. Now I don't know how they didn't come the same way on the way back. They weren't on the same flight on the way back. I don't know what happened with that, but maybe she'll say it. I don't know.
Let's just clean this up. So this is going to the Bahamas.
This is going
You're
to
already
film
feeling a certain
Rock.
way. You're already feeling a certain way about the aircraft.
Walking on the tarmac to these small planes to get us to Bahamas, something just was just like, and I'm fearless when it comes to flying. I'm not one of those. nervous to fly, so I definitely felt away because the plane just was like, oh, this is a tiny plane. We're going where? Here we go.
Your little antennas went up.
But I said my prayers. I think I had like a stuffed animal with me, like a good luck charm, and we got there with no problem. So it was great, and we were just happy to be down like that. Okay.
Wow. So what do y'all think about that? What are your first initial reactions to what she said, to what she felt, even going to the Bahamas and then knowing what happened afterwards? And I know how many of us Aaliyah fans are. Her timeline, some facts were a little off with like who directed this and where they did this, where they did that. But as confirmed, she was one of the background dancers in Rock the Boat and More Than a Woman. Here's a picture of her and Aaliyah on the actual boat they filmed the dance scene on. And here's some screen grabs from the actual video of them dancing together when they were dancing in front of the green screen. You can see that she was dancing quite close to Aaliyah. I'm just glad that she was finally able to come out all these years later and speak her.
So I'm just trying to understand. So was Aaliyah on a different plane
That's what we.
at the
That's what we
time,
was trying
or
to
did
figure out.
did the one girl leave earlier, or did Aaliyah leave? Maybe they'll talk about it.
Piece about it. No, this won't bring Aaliyah back. A lot of people, I have seen some criticism saying, oh, now all these people want to speak out. Why she didn't speak out when it happened? I'm like, how does a background dancer
Hold on,
look
hold on.
speaking out about anything? Now,
Now I can't remember, but if anybody in here can remember, were there any survivors on the from the plane crash with Aaliyah? I can't remember.
she had some type of eerie feeling about the flight going there. But as she said, she wasn't a scared flyer. They got there safely. What happened afterwards, she had no control over. She had no say-so, no power as a background dancer to tell them, I don't think Aaliyah should get on that plane. Like, you know, it's just like, it's just too much, you know. It's easy to say what coulda, shoulda happened all this time later, but she's just giving us her perspective, her feelings at that time. And you can see she even had some information misconstrued. So you could tell this happened so long ago, but she was actually there. And like I said, in the grand scheme of things, no, this won't bring Aaliyah back, but I'm just happy that more is starting to come out. Maybe some other dancers or some other crew members might speak out, because it wasn't only the dancers. It was a lot of behind the scenes people, camera crew, this, that. You know how much money and production and how many people goes into making a video? We saw the behind the scenes. Maybe somebody else there might have some information or some insight on something, and it's been so long, it's an accident. You know, Aaliyah's been gone for 24 years. People just decided to let it rest.
We spoke about that on yesterday's show. We had brought that up. And not saying that this is what happened here, and not saying that these people on this production team had anything to do with her unalive or passing away or untimely, whatever, however you want to put it. But there was we mentioned yesterday on our show that a lot of time when it comes to these industry unalivings, that it's not just one set person who's I guess the cause of it or carried out the plan or orchestrated the plan on himself. Like sometimes it'd be the production studio, it'd be people that work on the set. I mean, you know, so we don't. I'm not saying that these people had any knowledge of it, but I'm just saying that's not far fetched in this industry, and when this sort of thing takes place.
But like most of us know, most of us feel something feels sketchy about the situation.
Very.
And for more insight on the whole entire Hype Williams angle, I did a whole video about this over 3 years ago called Hype Williams Silence After Aaliyah's Accident. So check that out if you haven't already. I go into great detail with that, including the lawsuits and everything. And not to harp on the situation, but this just confirms that we weren't the only ones thinking, did they really have to go to the Bahamas just for an A count when they were already in Miami, which was a perfect destination for the video's theme? But think about it from her perspective. She got this opportunity to dance with Aaliyah. She's not going to turn it down. She's not going to, oh, that's too much. First of all, you're going to the Bahamas, you're with Aaliyah, you're doing the video, and it's like you see behind the scenes, it was like a nice little vacation on the side in the Bahamas. Who would turn that down? But who would have thought? Who would have known? How would she have known what was to happen after the shoot? If you want to watch the whole interview with her talking about this, I'm going to leave the link down below. Again, Sean from Boys to Men got this podcast. He interviewed her. She talked about a lot of different things and just her work in the industry overall. But I know for all my Aaliyah fans out there, I just had to bring this to y'all. Not to upset y'all, but just for, it's like a little food for thought. Like, more people are starting to come out and speak out. It's early, mid of the year. Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows who else is going to speak out? Who knows
Hey,
what
Liz,
other
how you doing?
information
Welcome
has
to the
been
live.
hidden,
Good morning.
not talked about? Because, the whole guise of this being an accident is what most people chucked it up to be. They took it and moved on. But this interview that just popped up just made me think about how there's definitely some missing puzzle pieces when it comes to this accident and the whole entire mystery surrounding it. And there's so much more I feel like needs to be explored. If you think it was just an accident, so be it. Leave your thoughts down below. But if you think there's more, watching her interview, seeing what she had to say, what do y'all think about that?
Now, I haven't seen her whole video. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna have to actually go and watch the entire video. But there's a few things here. I didn't know that Hype Williams even had that kind of questioning about his actions or his role in all of this. But I do have to say, the backup dancer, it is a good question. Like, if they were already in Miami, why did they have to fly to the Bahamas for Aaliyah to twerk for a few minutes? I mean, I don't know, and don't get me wrong, respectfully, that's not a bad thing. Like, I mean, I'm not, I'm not saying there's an issue with seeing that. But what I'm saying is, does that make sense? Just from a business perspective, isn't it like people would want to get more for less? Like, wouldn't you want to get more production and have to pay a least amount of money for it, right? Or less amount of money for it, right? So if that's how you, I think I could be wrong. I mean, it is early, and I'm not the smartest, but I'm just saying, wouldn't that make sense to just go to another spot in Miami and do that? Because, I mean, Miami's got some beautiful beaches, right? It's beautiful, so they could have done it there and it really captured the same tropical effect, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading too far into it. Maybe I'm too literal. I don't know. But I'm definitely going to have to go and watch. And I wish, let me see. I don't know if they list his podcast, Sean's podcast or not. Nah, the name isn't put on there. I don't see it. But shout out to Sean from Boys to Men on his podcast. Hope that continues to grow and be successful. And shout out to Jamel, aka Jamal, for his content as well. Valerie says, "Hey, Mr. Smooth, I'm making it without phone interruptions." All right. Hey, good. Welcome in. Good morning to you. Thank you for coming. We just finished up our first segment for this morning about the Aaliyah's backup dancer, or Aaliyah's dancer, breaks her silence and talks about how, they were feeling prior to even getting on the plane, the small plane, going to the Bahamas. And unfortunately, we know what happened on the way home from the Bahamas to Aaliyah. And so, rest in peace, baby girl. I mean, but that also goes to tell you, think about it, people. Valerie says that was so sad. Yes, indeed. It really was. Think about how long ago that happened. And still today, today in 2025, a lot of people are still not even past that. That just goes to show you the remarkable artist that Aaliyah was. And it's a testament to the fact of that her music will live on forever. And but you also have to think, man, if this didn't happen, how many other great hits will we have gotten from her? You know, and so it's like the same when it comes to Pac and Biggie. You feel like the real music heads, such as myself, man, we feel robbed of good music. We got robbed. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. No, I'm not gonna do that one for the second. Okay, yeah, I want to do this for the second segment. All right. Now this one is and again, let's please remind everybody who's just now coming in.
All things said in today's show is alleged and for entertainment purposes only.
So, what I'm about to say and what I've been saying, it's all alleged, people. It's all alleged. And so, with that being said, segment 2 is going to be source cred is limitless. That's the content creator, and the heading of it says leaked Feds documents prove how Puffy Jacket set Prince and MJ up. They had dirt on him. I don't know. We're watching this together for the first time in real time. So we'll just see where it heads.
Because Diddy's trial is starting in a couple of weeks, and the feds are trying to tie up all the loose ends. There are reports that they are looking to bring more charges against Diddy or bring more evidence to force him into pleading guilty, which might be the end of the road for him. So, what exactly did Diddy do to Prince and MJ? And what dirt exactly did they have on him? Let's break this down. Chili, the more we think we...
Something I would have never done before would be to leave her.
Commercial. That's not part of it.
less we actually know about him. And these new allegations that he might be hiding something about the passing of two of the greatest legends in music are nothing short of shocking. But what exactly does he have to do with Michael Jackson's passing? Well, remember when Kanye West publicly accused his former trainer, Harley Pasternak, of attempting to have him institutionalized, and most people dismissed it as just another one of Kanye's outbursts? What many didn't know is that Harley Pasternak actually has a background in military intelligence with the Canadian Armed Forces. That detail alone raised eyebrows, but now there's growing speculation that Michael Jackson may have had a similar figure in his orbit, specifically Diddy's former chief of security, Fahim Muhammad. Fahim's name appeared multiple times in the lawsuit filed by producer Lil Rod against Diddy. According to the claims, Fahim allegedly acted as a key intermediary between Diddy and law enforcement, helping shield Diddy from legal consequences while facilitating the operation of his alleged criminal activities. And that's only the beginning, because the truth runs much deeper. There are claims that Fahim Muhammad may have had ties to government intelligence, raising even more questions about his role behind the scenes. When producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones filed his explosive lawsuit against Diddy and several co-defendants, he made a number of serious allegations, including claims that Diddy's head of security, Fahim Muhammad, had deep connections to law enforcement and played a crucial role in helping conceal Diddy's alleged criminal behavior. However, according to the lawsuit, Diddy didn't personally select Fahim. Instead, Lil Rod claimed that Fahim was placed in that position by Diddy's influential industry allies, who allegedly employed and empowered him to act as a fixer, someone who could quietly handle problems and, when necessary, pay off law enforcement to avoid legal troubles.
Have we not heard some accounts about this going on with Puffy Jacket from alleged victims? And again, for those of you that are new here, when I say alleged victims, please understand and trust, I'm not discrediting their stories or their allegations. I'm just merely saying alleged for the integrity of the platform, and because since I wasn't there, I can't say if it's true or not. And just to stay unbiased and down the middle and equal to both parties. We say alleged.
Lil Rod's lawsuit states Mr. Combs made it clear that his head of security, Fahim Muhammad, had the power to make people and problems disappear. Mr. Combs instructs his staff to always contact Mr. Muhammad if they are ever pulled over by the police in Miami or California. Here's where things get interesting. It turns out that Fahim Muhammad was also Michael Jackson's head of security and was present the night Michael passed away. Even more surprising, during Dr. Conrad Murray's trial, Fahim testified that he had only started working as Michael's chief of security about 10 months before his death.
At that point in time, how long had you worked security for Mr. Jackson?
Approximately 10 months.
Okay. And what were your responsibilities?
I was the chief of his security, so my responsibilities ranged from making sure his house was protected, making sure his children were protected, and making sure his day-to-day activities and movement was all safe and planned and mapped out.
But let's take a step back for a moment. Fahim had just finished college with a business degree when he was brought on as Michael Jackson's head of security. He was only 20 or 21 years old at the time. So, are we really supposed to believe that Michael Jackson, one of the most famous and private figures in the world, personally chose a 20-year-old with no real security experience to protect him and lead his entire security team? Now,
that's a good question. That's actually a valid question. Don't know the answer to it, and I can't sway one way or the other, one way or the other. But when it comes to the security guard, if I recall correctly, Big Gene Deal, shout out to Gene Deal too. Nothing but respect for him, but he brings up the Nation of Islam actually being part of a security detail when it came to some incidents or some events that Puffy Jacket was at. So I wonder if this guy right here was a part of those guys when they were doing security for Puffy Jacket.
now, here's where things get even more unbelievable. Independent journalist Ian Carroll recently investigated the connection between Diddy and Michael Jackson. According to his findings, Fahim might not have been hired by Michael at all.
What began as a gutsy inspiration.
Sorry, y'all, that's commercial again. No, we be listening, it pop out of nowhere.
It's possible that someone else brought Fahim in, just like they hired Dr. Conrad Murray, without Michael's full knowledge or approval.
For most of Jackson's career, his head of security was Bill Bray, who was his mentor and basically his father. And the two were extremely close. Bill ran his security until he was 70 when he retired, and Jackson continued to pay his medical bills until he died at age 80. Pause if you want to read that. But then once Bill retired, Jackson was then protected by other security people that came and went, and he wound up with this guy who has direct connections to Diddy's blackmail operations, who was directly complicit in covering up crimes for Diddy and covering up murder, covering up use in human. This is the guy that was protecting Michael Jackson the day that he died. The day that he was overdosed on after he was probably already asleep, and the only witnesses, there were no witnesses to the crime. I'm honestly kind of surprised that this guy never got checked into as a suspect.
And
so wait. Because Conrad, the doctor for MJ at the time that he passed away, remember, he's the one who got arrested initially, right? Am I right? Y'all put a 1 in the live if I'm right. I could be wrong, but he's the one that got arrested. But he didn't stay incarcerated long. They let him out. And if I remember correctly, they said that it was due to overcrowding at the detention facility, the adult detention facility that he was in. Valerie, okay, so I am. He did. Okay. Now, in most places and in most cases, if you have unalived somebody and you've gotten a sentence, even if the facility or the detention center that they send you to has a problem with overcrowding, typically they just send that inmate to another correctional facility. Is there something in my coffee? Because that Valerie says they find a facility that can take them. Exactly. That's what I thought. They don't just release them back into society with nothing, like nothing ever happened. But judging from what we just heard, if this is indeed the case, and again, people, please don't inbox me after the show. Listen,
if this allegedly happened,
then that would be why they kind of just, hey, we're going to lock you up behind it. But once the smoke clears and the dust settle and you know, people have forgotten about it or not paying attention anymore, we just go ahead and release you and let you go back into society. You understand? Like, if what he's saying, if this is true, that would make sense. That would explain why Conrad got released like he did. Right, Valerie? Valerie says they swept it under the rug. Exactly. They waited and was waiting for us to forget about it. Like, you know, out of sight, out of mind. And then just let him out. I never knew this. I never heard about this. So, but that would explain why Conrad got released. Because, man.
Then Ian also mentioned that Fahim might have connections to intelligence agencies, and now fans are speculating that he could be another one of those celebrity handlers, similar to what Kanye said about his former trainer, Harley Pasternak.
And where did I find another article about him? On Penn State, the Wharton School. He didn't attend it as a student. He was invited as a speaker for this Wharton real estate entrepreneurship event, which makes perfect sense. He has a real estate investment company or whatever, but if you've been following along, you would know that the Wharton School comes up an awful lot when we're talking about intelligence agencies and people associated with the CIA and the...
Okay, so now, hold on. Sorry, Valerie, hold on. They banked on people's short-term memories. Hold on, that went up fast. Short-term memories and stopped reporting on it. Right. Exactly. Thinking it's, hey, we don't think about it no more, then we can get over on them. Marie says, great, just working as usual. Okay, hey, try to take it easy. Try to take it easy. Don't work too hard, you know. Wow. And so by this particular guy that he's talking about that took over for security detail on MJ, if he did go to he did go to the school. I mean, I see they say it right here. They got it right here, his credential. But that would mean if he worked with the FBI, the CIA, and stuff like that, well then it'd be nothing for them to cover that up, right? Right? It'd be nothing for them to cover this up and get away with it.
The FBI, etc. Just thought it was interesting that they invited him to be a honored speaker at their event. And now, here's the best part. Check this out. This is in all of his bios, by the way.
If you really want to be a CEO,
Sorry, y'all. There's another commercial. I apologize.
In 2008, Fahim graduated from Sacramento State University, with a Bachelor's of Science degree in Business Administration with a concentration in real estate and marketing. Okay? Do you realize what's wrong with that yet? Anything coming to mind? When did Michael Jackson die? June 25th, 2009. Jackson died from cardiac arrest caused by a propofol and benzodiazepine overdose, caused by his doctor apparently. Hold up. Hold the phone. Pause. Why is a dude who just graduated college last year with a business and real estate degree the head of security for king of pop, for Michael Jackson, the most famous musician of all time?
Well,
good question. Good question. And I thought that's what he was getting at, because I'm like, okay, you keep saying real estate and business. What does that got to do with security? But then I just listened, and that's exactly what he was pointing out. Valerie says the ABCs are so freaking dirty, you have no idea. There you go. There you go. It starts all the way up there, all the way down when it comes to LEO. You know? And so, yeah. Let's digest that for a minute, people. Let's digest that for a minute. He went to college, graduated, went to college, got a degree and graduated for real estate and business, and got put head of security detail on one of, if not the most popular singer of all time. The math ain't mathing. The math ain't mathing. So let me put it, because some people, unfortunately, we've got some people that whole context is going to. So let me put it to you this way. And when I say this, understand it's just an analogy. It's not it's not downing or belittling any other work. Okay, at McDonald's. Okay, so let's just say you have a worker at McDonald's. And I want, this is going to be like a fresh out of high school or still in high school. We'll say still in high school. Working in McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, whatever. We'll just say all of them, Five Guys, whatever. We just cover them all, so there's no biasness or anything like that. But so this is just hypothetical, okay? So they're senior in high school. Senior in high school, about to graduate high school, needed a part-time job, so they're working at the local fast food restaurant down the street. You take them out of there, and you take them to the hospital and make them a surgeon. Would you, okay, let me ask you, let me put it to y'all this way. If you needed a major operation done on you, are you going to trust a person who does construction that's never been to school for anything medical or to school to learn how to perform these surgeries that you got to go for? Are you going to put them on that job? Are you going to give them that task? Are you going to let them operate on you? I think not. So what sense does it make for a person who has a degree in business and real estate to be head of security?
The streets are now speculating that Diddy was allegedly some sort of handler for Fahim. Isn't it strange that one of the last people to see Michael alive also ended up working on Diddy's alleged crime network? Interesting, right? Well, the leaked documents now claim that Fahim has allegedly agreed to testify against Diddy. He will allegedly give his testimony in exchange for an immunity deal.
Marie says, I'm in real estate school. Can I be head of security? Right. Like, we just have to slow things down and put this in perspective and into the context that it is. And it just doesn't, they don't go together, right, Bestie? Like, the math just don't math. It's not mathing.
Allegedly, he has some tea on how Diddy profited from Michael's death and has been hiding the truth ever since.
Shop.
If you think that's crazy, it's about to get crazier because he also allegedly did the same thing to Prince.
Okay. Time out. Let me get some more of my coffee. Wow. Because on previous shows we've talked about that too. I've even confessed to you all how when I was younger, I used to be scared of Prince, man. Like, I'm not gonna even lie. Like, his album covers, because as a little kid, we're still innocent as little kids, right? So, most of us, right? And so, I didn't. Marie said, "Me too." Yeah, like, so because he had everything was, yeah, girl. I was just about to say that everything was just off, right? Like, he supposed to be a man, but he sounded high pitched like a female, and he kind of dressed like a female, and my little bitty old 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old mind couldn't. Because the Transformers didn't look like that. Thundercats didn't look like that. G.I. Joe didn't look like that. He-Man didn't look like that. Like, so I'm thrown off. Marie said, and those eyes. Yeah. Yes. I still, to this day, I still remember he had an album cover. He's got like a short haircut. He's got like a purple jacket on. And I think it had like something silver on it right up here, something like that. And then he's like looking down like this, but his eyes is looking. Listen, I ain't gonna hold you. Look, I was scared. And so I love Michael Jackson. The Purple Rain album, okay, see? So you know what listen. I love, now Michael Jackson, man, I had the buttons, I had the pen, the albums. I even, had an all-white glove with glitter on it. Had the Beat It jacket, the Thriller jackets, the Billie Jean jacket, And so back then, Michael was everything, right? And don't get me wrong, Prince music was good. And now that I'm older and can understand the context of what he was talking about in his songs, okay. Hey, go Prince. I feel you. I understand. Both are musical geniuses, right? But I do remember, and we're going to get back to the context, people. I'm not going to hold you that long. Well, I don't know. I'm going to try not to hold you that long. Let me say, because I don't want to lie. I remember when he was because when Prince was sick, when he first initially got sick, he was performing. He had a concert here in Atlanta, but he had gotten sick. But now keep in mind, because people, now we have, and I don't think I have any of the younger people on here, but as far as like 20s or something, but the platforms they have now, and I can't never remember them because I don't never do nothing with them. SoundCloud, no, SoundScan, SoundCloud. I know Spotify is one. No, it was SoundCloud. I think it's SoundCloud. Anyways, what Prince was doing at that time was he was also trying to let artists know that were up and coming or just getting in the game in the music industry. He was trying to let them know how to profit on themselves, like get all of their, like cut out the middleman, the record company. because he had gone through stuff with the record company he was signed to. They wanted him to do music a certain way, and Prince wasn't for it. And so when they wanted him to change the direction of his music or the content of his music, he was like, okay, I'm going to honor the contract. But remember, he had, I think it's called Paisley Park Records. That's his. That was Prince's record company. I think it's called Paisley Park, if I'm not mistaken. But he said, okay, here's what I do then. I will put out crap music on the major record label that I'm signed to, and I'll do my work on my record label, on the Paisley Park record, or whatever. And in a sense, I guess you could say he was rebelling against the machine of the music industry, right? And ultimately, this is what happened.
Said Hollywood is a dog-eat-dog world, they were not joking. See, Prince was never afraid to speak out about the darker side of the music industry. He openly talked about how artists were often taken advantage of through unfair contracts, manipulation, and shady business practices. Because of this, it's not surprising that he...
Told you.
You shouldn't have to pay expensive out-of-pocket...
Told you. Mind you, people, we just watching this together.
From people like Diddy and his bestie, Jay-Z. Lately, as rumors about Diddy's wild parties continue to spread, some fans are starting to see Prince's famous 3121 parties in a new light. Many now believe that Prince was trying to create a more positive and safe environment.
What did I just tell y'all? What did your self-proclaimed favorite news reporter / host tell you about Prince? He was trying to look out for artists that were coming into the industry. He was trying to protect them. We just talked about this, right? Right, and with MJ, I've told you all before. People thought that the name of his tour, his last tour, the tour that he was on when he passed away, was just a show title. But I'm trying to tell you, he was giving us subliminal messages. That's why he titled it "This Is It." People close to him have already said and stated that MJ had already told him that he felt like they were going on a lie. Right?
One where artists and industry insiders could connect through creativity, not chaos. His events focused on real music, genuine support, and community, without the toxic behavior often found elsewhere in the industry. Prince was always in the know, staying 10 steps ahead of everyone. And now fans are left wondering, was his passing really just an accidental overdose, as we've been told, or was it a case of the industry trying to silence him, seeing him as a major threat to their system? Like Michael Jackson and Sony, Prince also had major issues with his label, Warner Brothers. For years, Prince fans have believed that Warner wasn't just trying to control his music, they were trying to break his spirit. Many people have pointed out
Jenny
a pattern
from the block.
in the industry
Jewel
where
Michael.
major labels like Warner seem to turn against artists once they become too influential, too independent, or too difficult to control. There's been ongoing discussion about how some of music's biggest names, like Sam Cooke, Michael Jackson, and Whitney Houston, met tragic ends under circumstances that still raise questions.
Shout out to cuz Whitney Houston. We still miss you. R.I.P. to you, baby. Rest in heaven.
Things escalated.
We ain't finished fighting for your justice. or little cousins, Bobby Chris.
Even further in 1995 when Prince made a bold statement by appearing in public with the word slave written across his face. This was his way of openly declaring that he felt like a slave to Warner Brothers, who owned not just his music and masters, but also his identity as Prince. Prince started speaking out about the dangers of signing away your art to big corporations, calling the music industry a modern-day form of slavery.
I had searched deep within my heart and spirit, and I wanted to make a change and move to a new plateau in my life. And one of the ways in which I did that was to change my name. It sort of divorced me from the past and all the hang-ups that go along with it.
In another interview, Prince said,
Okay, so now he just verified how we got from the name Prince, or how he got, from the name Prince to the symbol. Just a symbol, right? So now he let us know. And we don't have to say alleged, that came from his mouth. That's what he just said, right? How many of you thought he was going crazy when he just changed his name to a symbol? I did. I thought, look, I thought he was weird when I was younger. Now I'm thinking he's weird and I'm grown now. I don't know how you change your name to a symbol. Reset me. Okay. All right. So now it makes sense. Now it all comes together. It all ties together. It comes together, and now we see again what he did it for. And even though we didn't know, it was a subliminal message. It was him letting us know that the music industry, the major players and record companies in the music industry, are not treating talent or artists fairly. Monetarily, characterly, anything, whatever. They wasn't doing right by their artists. And since they profit, anything that was created or made or composed by the artist Prince, he changed his name to a symbol. They can't market the symbol. They can't get that.
Said Warner Brothers took the name, trademarked it, and used it as the main marketing tool to promote all the music that I wrote. The company owns the name Prince. I became merely a pawn used to produce more money for Warner Brothers.
I tell you, when I say something to you all, and then they come right behind it and say what I'm telling you, I love it.
Some believe that Warner was determined to hold on to Prince's catalog for as long as possible, not just because it was worth a lot of money, but because his independence challenged the entire system. If Prince could prove that an artist could succeed without relying on a traditional record label, it might encourage others to do the same.
I'm gonna pause it there for a minute, because that's what I meant by trying to. He was, long before there was sound scans or SoundCloud. I don't know the name of the thing that these people load their music to. Independent artists load their music to, and you know, you get streams and pay from the streams. So I don't know. I don't do all that. That's not my deforte, right? So, but that's what he was doing. He was trying to get them to do that, so they could profit, 100% profit off their talent, off their material, right?
Just because it was worth a lot of money, but because his independence challenged the entire system. If Prince could prove that an artist could succeed without relying on a traditional record label.
Valerie says that whole industry is evil. That's why the band Oliver Anthony told them to kick rocks. Right. And see, and that's another thing I want to put out there too. It's not just pertaining to one genre of music. So, because a lot of I know, well, from the most part, it's only hip hop and R&B that seems to get all of the spotlight or all the media attention when it comes to mistreating from the industry, from the music industry. But it's not, people. It's not just R&B and hip hop. It's pop. It's heavy metal. It's alternative rock. It's everything. Gospel. I mean, it's everything, right? It's a wide variety. It's not just one genre of music.
It might encourage others to do the same. That kind of realization could break the control the industry has long held over artists.
But I also have the impression now that Slave is not anymore on your cheek here, that you feel fresh, new, more funky, more inspired?
Yes, sir, very
How
much.
come?
Well, once you free yourself from all contractual binds, you make music differently in the studio. You're not thinking about working for someone, thinking about just creating for God.
Yeah, that's important.
That's very important.
In 2007, Prince took another bold step to reclaim control of his music in the digital age by announcing plans to sue YouTube, eBay, and the Pirate Bay for using his music without permission. Around the same time, Prince pulled his music from all major streaming platforms, choosing to keep it exclusively on Jay-Z's Tidal. At first, he believed Jay-Z was truly committed to supporting independent artists and protecting creative freedom. But, like many others, Prince soon realized that Jay-Z's main focus was profit. In 2015, Prince found himself in yet another struggle with powerful figures in the industry, this time with Jay-Z himself.
Pause. Hold on, let me get to this comment real quick. Valerie says, all those people were owned. They said jump, you say how high. Period. That's it. Once you buy into this contractual sacrifice, you have to march to the beat of their drum. Prince 7, what's up, my brother? He says Jay-Z ain't no good. Facts, and that's exactly what I'm about to point out, brother, because now you hear Prince notice that Camel Face works with these people. Now let's bring this over into what's going on now when it comes to the hold on.
Alleged
Graping of 13-year-olds and underage people, stuff like that, right? Prince 7 says, I'm peace, brother. Love your show. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, my brother. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for supporting me. This goes to show you that these people, thank you for that daily heart. Me, Lisa, how you doing? Good morning, bestie. This goes to show you that these people can be guilty of what they're being accused of. But because of the position that they sit in, because of their ranking with the higher ups, it could all go away. It could all be covered up. You understand? Is it all coming together to you people now? Is it all coming together? Because it's showing you in real time. It's showing you in real time, people. It's just slowly peeling back the layers of the proverbial onion. But we getting to it. We getting to it. Valerie says many of the old artists passed broke while the fat cats laughed. You are exactly right again, my friend. And the thing is, it's still going on today. It's still going. They've been playing this powerful Ponzi game for so long. And people, I'm talking about it, and they're so influential and so smooth at it that when you bring it to the light for people, some people actually get mad at you. Right, Ponzi scheme. That's exactly right, Preem 7. That's what I'm looking for. That's the exact words I'm looking for. Ponzi, a powerful Ponzi scheme. That's all this is. And when you bring, even myself, man, I do you know how many people tell me, you don't know what you're talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. Yet and still, here we are. And it's all coming out. Valerie says, it is. I was hoping bands like Oliver Anthony taught something to the artist. He gets all the money. Well, and see the thing about it, another thing that they have is they have an innate ability to prey on the weak, to prey on the less fortunate. And so they dangle all these glitz and glamours in front of them and fortunes and for people that's coming from nothing to see that, they like jump at it, right? Because you're thinking, hey, I'll never have a want again in my life. My family would never have to struggle again, ever. I'm going to take it. But it's the small, and not only small, but small and hidden print in that contract that they don't see. But by the time they get to it or get to see it, it's far too late. They've already taken the oath, proverbial oath, the sacrificial oath, you know? Preem 7 says their power lies in the astrology/zodiac calendar. Right. It's very soul driven, soul taken, and that's the part that a lot of people don't have the mentality to get that deep. Hold on, let me recant that. I don't want to say that they can or don't have the ability. I'm going to say that they don't know how to become in tune with that aspect of their mentality. And that's a lot of the reason they get caught up in this kind of stuff. They pick you from birth. Yeah. Now, see, the thing about that, too, there's another rapper who's no longer with us, but he mentions that, too. Preem 7, the great Tupac. He told us from the time he was born, they were already, he already had eyes on him from the higher ups because of what his mom and his dad was a part of. They already, you understand? So when he says that, okay, we're going to get back to it. Hold on, people. You know, when I'm bringing it, I want to bring it all to you. My main objective is for you to get it when the show is over with, right? So, okay. There's been several different people who stated they've had conversations with Tupac when he was alive, of course, and when they were talking, he would say to them, I'm not going to be here long. There was one person, and again, I watched so much things, I studied so much things, I can't remember who it was, but he was saying that they were at his house, and he had the pictures of his wife and his kids and stuff like that up, and he was saying that Pac was looking at pictures of him and his kids. The guy and his kids now. And Pac was telling him how beautiful it was. And he was telling him, yeah, you're going to have kids too. And Pac said, I won't be here long enough to have kids. He says, this is his words, he didn't say it fearfully. He said it as a matter of fact. Like, I already know I'm not going to be here. And now you've had other people who would be in the studio, have stated they've been in the studio with him, with Pac. And when he's writing his songs, he's going so fast. He's getting so many songs done so quickly. And the way they described it is he was writing as if he knew he was on borrowed time, like he wasn't going to be here long. So he tried to get everything out as fast as he could. I'm just saying. So to your point, Preem 7, I'm glad you brought that up, brother. Valerie says the majority are groomed from a young age. Yes, and we're seeing that. We're seeing that in real time right now. We've had a few of those people come out and speak as well. O'Brien is one that comes to mind. The two Corey, I can't remember their names, but they're like from the 80s, early 90s. Corey something, you know. And if you see the documentary Quiet on the Set, here we go, you know.
Started as a hopeful partnership with Tidal, a platform that claimed to offer artists more control and a fairer share of revenue, quickly turned into a disappointment. Jay-Z wasn't just looking for Prince's public support. He was aiming for full ownership of Prince's entire music catalog to use on Tidal. Prince refused the offer because he was unwilling to hand over control of his life's work. After Prince's untimely death in 2016, the situation escalated. His estate accused Roc Nation of trying to capitalize on his passing by using his music without proper permission. Roc Nation argued that they had the rights, but Prince's team strongly disagreed, which led to...
Sorry, no commercial.
Against Jay-Z, although Prince had only given Tidal permission to stream his hit-and-run album for a limited 90-day window, after his passing, the platform began streaming his entire back catalog, something he had never agreed to. Jay-Z, meanwhile, showed no hesitation in claiming ownership. He even publicly boasted about having control over Prince's masters, even though Prince had never officially handed them over to Tidal. Just a month after Prince's death, Jay-Z released a verse on the remix of Fat Joe and Remy Ma's All the Way Up, rapping, "Prince left his masters where they safe and sound. We never gonna let the elevator take him down."
Pause. If you enjoy the content, you like the content, and you want to stay connected with me, please subscribe to my page so you can be notified when I go live, when I make content. Also, when you subscribe, you'll become a news crew member, and that means you'll get a gold badge next to your name here in the live. And when you leave a comment, that gold badge will signify to me that you are one of my news crew members, and I will be able to respond to your comment quicker. Also, it enables you to use these little small special stickers here in the live that I've created and came up with or chosen. You can use those as your in your comments here in the live. But pause. Remember we said in previous shows, because I got some of my regulars here in here, on previous shows, we've stated that in these songs, especially if you go back to songs from the 90s in the hip hop era, genre. If you go back and listen to them, and you pay attention to the lyrics, we start to see the pattern of art imitating real life. Meaning, what does that mean, Mr. Breaking News? Meaning, you hear it in the art form of them writing a song. But they're actually telling us what they really are doing or did do in real life. Preem 7 says Biggie's first album said it's called Ready to Die. Yes. Yes. Think about it. Come on. And then what was the second album? Preem 7. What was the name of the second album? What was the name of Big's second album? Preem 7. Cause I know he gonna bring it through. I know he got me. Life After Death. Listen. Okay, stay with me, everybody. Life After Death. Now, is it or has it not been said that, hey, Sharita Bestie, Thank you for subscribing. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let's get that up for Sharita, renewing her News Crew membership. Thank you so much, bestie. I appreciate the love and support from you, and I enjoy your company every day. Thank you. Is it not coming out? Has it not been stated that Big was leaving Puffy Jacket and was signing a contract with some other record company? And it says in Kim Porter's book that Puffy Jacket knew this and had already stated that he was going to take Big out. He wasn't going to protect his life no more because he felt Big wasn't being loyal to him. And he had already knew he was going to have him taken out. That's how we get to life after death. Now, hold on one second, people. Now, was Big Mom not mad at Puffy Jacket? Because he took all of the money. He didn't do right by her son's money. She approached him while they was out to eat, according to Kim Porter's book. And he told her, I have to check and see, what the books look like. I gave him more than he made, stuff like that. But come on, man. Life after death. You already knew you was going to have him taken out. You knew you was going to profit off 100%. What did we just play yesterday? DJ Zay, what's up, brother? How you doing? Good morning and grand rising to you. Peace and blessings. What did we just play on our show yesterday? In the interview on Art of Dialogue with Chopper. What did Chopper say? Yeah, Puffy Jacket went and went back and reconstructed Biggie's contract so he can get 100% profit of his album after he had already passed away. Life after death. Come on, man. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't hear me.
For many fans, the line came off as bold and insensitive,
Frame 7
especially given the ongoing legal dispute.
Put a
with
one in the
Prince's
live
estate.
if you got it.
Now, here's where things get even
Frame 7
shadier.
says yes.
Prince died almost exactly.
Violetta Wallace sued LAPD for negligence of her son's unaliving. Exactly. Because she knew. Come on, man. They all worked. Listen. Like we just said, who was it? Valerie. The alphabet letters. Like I said, the LEOs. They all in on it. Puffy Jacket is in cahoots with them. They all work together. That's why some of the victims that. Alleged victims, you know what I say? I got to say alleged. But some of the alleged victims out there were saying they went to the LEOs when stuff happened to them dealing with Puffy Jacket. And then when they went to him, the LEOs just called him to come pick them up from the alleged victim up from the police department. Come on, man.
2 years after he had regained.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how.
Hold on. We almost finished with Seg 2. I know y'all got your day. Gotta have your
of
day.
his masters from Warner Music. On April 18, 2014, it was announced that Prince had officially reclaimed ownership of his iconic catalog. Then, almost 2 years to the day later,
Frank.
on April 21st, 2016, he was found dead in an elevator at his Paisley Park home. Prince's death was officially ruled an accidental overdose.
We love
According to the
TikTok
police
Shop.
report, he thought he was taking Vicodin to manage
We love TikTok
ongoing
Shop.
pain. Unfortunately, the pills were fake and had been laced with fentanyl,
We love TikTok
a
Shop.
powerful and dangerous opioid, which ultimately led
We
to his
love
passing.
TikTok Shop.
Hours after announcing a decision not to file.
No, I'm saying that because we don't want the algorithm to pick up that stuff and then flag it. So that's why I keep saying that.
Charges in Prince's death, authorities released documents and video of his last days. Among the evidence, pictures from Paisley Park on the day Prince died, showing pills and a Bayer bottle authorities say contained the deadly counterfeit Vicodin.
We love TikTok
Unfortunately, the subject counterfeit Vicodin pills
We love
are an
TikTok
exact
Shop.
imitation.
Sorry, y'all, I've never seen this, so I don't know yeah, you know, I can't splice anything out of it. So
of real Vicodin pills, but the
TikTok
counterfeit
Shop.
pills
We love
contain the
TikTok Shop.
potentially deadly opioid.
We love TikTok Shop.
Given all the unusual circumstances surrounding Prince's death, it wasn't long before fans began questioning the official story. Fans started to suspect that it may not have been a simple accident, that someone could have intentionally given him the laced pills. Even some industry insiders
TikTok
shared
Shop.
those concerns. Kanye West, for example, publicly expressed doubts about the official narrative. He went as far as to suggest that both Prince and Michael Jackson were murdered, and hinted that he too had narrowly escaped a similar fate. He shared a photo of Prince with the word slave written on.
No, listen. Okay, but the thing about that is, look what he's doing now, though. And it's not proven. Nobody said it. It hadn't been put anywhere. This is just me speaking, right? In my own opinion. I think he's acting this way now because he's trying to get back in good graces with the powers that be, or the elite group. That's what I think. I think that's why he's saying free Puffy Jacket and dropping new songs with his daughter and Puffy Jacket and Puffy Jacket's son on it. I think he's just trying to get in good graces with them.
On his face and captioned it, "Let's get it big,
Hey,
bro.
niece, how you doing?
And
Good
Michael
morning.
pass so we can live." So, what does this
Hey,
have
we
to
didn't
do
bring
with
you up
Diddy?
the other day.
Well, remember
You
Prince's
said you wanted to come up
long-term
with
battle with
your
Warner?
shirt.
Well, the primary reason Prince kept his distance from him was due to Diddy's close ties with Warner while Prince was fighting for his independence. In 2005, Diddy announced a joint venture between Bad Boy Records and Warner Music Group. At the time, Leor Cohen, chairman and CEO of U.S. Recorded Music for Warner, and a close friend of Jay-Z, expressed excitement about the partnership, stating, "We're thrilled to welcome Sean and Bad Boy Records to the Warner Music fold. We believe Sean's entrepreneurial spirit and willingness to push the envelope creatively will be a perfect fit for Warner Music Group. The Bad Boy name has not only stood for hip-hop music for more than a decade, but has evolved into a unique and vital brand." Diddy responded in a statement saying, "I am thrilled to be working with Leor Cohen and the entire WMG family. It was important for me to have the opportunity to grow Bad Boy, and I can do that with WMG. This is a perfect situation for me and Bad Boy, and I can't wait to get out there and continue making music history." Now, if you're not familiar with Leor Cohen, he's the man who openly admitted to signing artists who promote substance use, fully aware of the negative impact this has on the community.
One of the biggest artists you ever had had a real bad problem, DMX.
I'm so sad. DMX, first thing that's faced.
Come on, man. You so sad. Carlos, good morning, brother. How you doing? You so sad that DMX passed away. Yet, you know what? No, I ain't gonna even do it. They gonna flag my whole.
Facing
I ain't gonna even say it.
our society.
So why sign an artist that would promote that?
Because I already answered that question. You weren't paying attention. She asked me talent or issues, and I said talent. But I have to. I can't give up on people.
You don't think that's hypocritical though? You're saying the
it's
opioid problem's a problem.
opportunistic. Yeah. I got people to feed. I got a business to run.
You're gonna make Dame Dash take this clip and call you.
Okay, I was.
So, did he or did he not just mention in his own, well, not word for word verbatim, but he basically said, I got people to feed. I don't care about you. I don't care about your well-being. As long as I can make money off of you, then I'm good with it. I'm blessed as well, brother. Thank you for asking. I'm blessed as well. Blessed as well. Came a little early this morning. I felt like getting this out.
Who's Dame Dash? You brought him up. I don't even know him. So you bring his name up. I don't even know him. So
y'all made a lot of money together.
Made a lot of
Come
money.
on, Leo. Don't do that to him.
I don't.
this man sitting here just lying. I mean, look, in lying, you supposed to just like cover up the truth or not be. He just. I mean, we seen it. We know. Listen, woo, man.
Know him. I really don't. So, I don't know what to tell you. I won't be complicit.
Apart from Diddy's business ties to Warner and Lear Cohen, two industry giants Prince had openly warned others about. There's another theory making the rounds about why Prince kept his distance from Diddy. Some believe it wasn't just about business, but something deeper and more personal that made Prince stay away. According to some insiders, once Prince found out about what really went on at Diddy's infamous freak-off parties, he decided to take action in his own way. That's when he began hosting his now legendary 3,121 parties. These invite-only events were created as a safe space for artists, far away from the toxic energy and shady dealings of the industry. At these gatherings, artists could connect, collaborate, and exchange creative ideas without any interference from label executives or industry politics. Some believe Prince saw these parties as his way of offering a healthier, more uplifting alternative to the disturbing scenes reportedly happening at Diddy's events. Prince also made a point to keep his distance from Diddy, so much so that there's only one known photo of them together, and that was purely by chance when they were seated next to each other at the 2007 NBA All-Star Game. When it comes to Prince's views on both Jay-Z and Diddy, many fans see this as further proof that he was ahead of his time, trying to sound the alarm about the very people and issues that are now dominating headlines. Some fans have also pointed to the unsettling timing of his death, which happened just months after the title dispute. Adding to the speculation is the caption on what would be his final post: "Just when you thought you were safe." As bad as this all has been, there are reports that the feds have even more damaging information about Diddy's alleged involvement with Prince and Michael Jackson, claiming that it shows a pattern of behavior relevant to his ongoing court case. However, Diddy's lawyers are reportedly trying to get this struck out of court, saying that it has no bearing on his racketeering and case. It's going to be interesting to watch this all play out. But in the meantime, I want to know how y'all feel about this drama.
Man, we just unpacked it a lot. That was some stuff I didn't even know. Nonetheless, though, well, first and foremost, let's give it up for MJ and Prince. Two musical icons, legendary musical icons. And if this is true, and it's hard for me to say if this is true because I just witnessed the receipts, so I know it's true. But if this is true, they sacrificed for other people to know, to be enlightened, to be awakened about the perils and the dangers that this industry, possesses. And wow, yeah, anybody that's trying to have tried to get this out there, this message out there, man, and have paid a great sacrifice is in any way. I don't, man, just thank them. I thank them. I thank them. And when it comes to Puffy Jacket, I have to say this too. I always say, the thing about this case coming up, if the prosecution can establish the pattern of behavior. And if this is indeed his pattern of behavior, it's going to be an uphill battle for him on skates. Not judging. I don't need my free Diddy community to come in here and get mad. I'm just saying, you know, he does have his right to his day in court, and that will come. Although, as of yesterday, he was trying to get it pushed back 2 months. Don't know if that's going to happen because, I mean, you know, he did want a speedy trial. He wanted to hurry up and get the trial done and over with. But now, with all the new stuff coming out, he wants to be granted 2 months, 2-month extension. I don't know how many of you knew about that, but he may get it. Then again, he may not. I don't know. Bessie Sharita says that's partly why America is going down. Facts? No lies detected in that statement at all. At all. What do you all think now? After hearing that, after listening to that, do you all believe that Puffy Jacket has a hand or is in some kind of way involved in the unaliving of Prince and Michael Jackson? Man. Yeah. Yeah, this is crazy. And he said, yes, absolutely. Valerie says that's because the prosecutors and the FBI came out with new info. They may have asked for time. Right. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. I think I forgot who it was. Or somebody we had asked, like, why would he want in the beginning? Why would he want a speedy, expedited court date? Like I'm talking about Puffy Jacket, and because to me it didn't make sense. Like I would want, I would want to get out, but Carlos says most definitely he believes he had a hand in it. I'm with you, brother. Just based off of what we heard and what we're hearing, I believe you, brother. But I was like, well, no, I wouldn't want to. Yeah, I would want to be out of detainment. But when when you're being charged with something this big, no, look, let's make sure. I would want time to make sure I got the right defense in play, because that's my life I'm going to court for. I don't want to go in with my I's undotted or my T's uncrossed. Let's just make sure we got everything ready to go. So no, don't rush it. But now when this evidence, but I say that because the person, I can't remember who it was, but they said that he probably wanted to rush to the trial before all this other stuff had a chance or opportunity to come out. And that made sense, because the more that comes out, the more his credibility is not in good favor. Right? So, but now, yeah, these new things is coming out, new evidence is coming out. Yeah, now you need time, because you got to figure out how you're going to combat this, because you didn't want these things coming out. That's why you wanted to rush the trial. Valerie says Puffy Jacket doesn't want more stuff to be presented. Right, exactly. And now that it has, since that plan didn't work, yeah, you time out. I need a 30-month timeout, not a 30-second timeout, you know. I don't know. Look, we're gonna, this one is Law and Crime Network, and it says that's the source for the third segment of today's show. And it says shocking twist in Puffy Jacket lawsuit claiming Beehive attended freak offs. Well, here's what we're gonna do. I've never seen these people, so I don't know, but I'm gonna play it. In the event that it's what we've already talked about, I'll probably cut it short, because like I said, I'm really not trying to hold you all too long. In fact, we're already probably over an hour and a half. So again, I won't be able to put this full episode on the platform, TikTok platform. So I'll try to get it uploaded on my YouTube account. If you're not following me on YouTube or following my channel on YouTube, just go on YouTube and look up G Smooth 404. And I try to put our shows in its entirety on there when it goes longer than an hour. Okay. So we're gonna see what is. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Let me get this comment. I didn't see that. I'm sorry. Sharita says, "It's." Hold on, Sharita. Your comment is funny. Okay. She said, if Corn Puffs was able to do that to Prince, that would make a person feel power. Absolutely, and that's what he craves, right? That's what powerful is what she meant. Okay, absolutely, Bestie, and we've seen that he thrives or he gets rush off controlling people and having power, right?
The man who claimed he was sex trafficked by Sean Combs paraded around.
Okay, hold on, y'all. I don't know if we're gonna do this one, all right? Because they already started out saying words like that, so I can only imagine how it's gonna go. All right, so I'm gonna call an audible. And we're gonna cut this out. So we're gonna go to just 3 segments, right? I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to get permanently banned again, right? Because my original page and account, man, I was up there doing good, and they blocking from me speaking this real stuff. So I'm just gonna not give him a chance to do that. I'm not gonna get a platform a chance to do that. So we're gonna scratch that. As a matter of fact, let me make sure I go ahead and move that out of here. I don't accidentally hit nothing or anything like that. Okay, so this is going to be the 3rd segment. Card subject to change. So in the world of pro wrestling, when we doing shows and we have events lined up, that's put on the flyer. Card subject to change, because you never know how things are going to turn out. Now, okay, so this is going to be our 3rd segment now. And I'm actually doing this because a few days ago, I had went on somebody's post, and I was telling them that this is self-defense. Just saying, good morning, Bestie. How you doing? Okay, sorry, I had a notification come up. I was trying to see. That's like a bonus daughter to me, so I'll have to call her and see what I can help her with. But I was trying to tell them, like, the whole incident that's going on in Texas with Carmelo Anthony. Just saying, says great, beautiful weather here in Iowa today. Good. I know that y'all had some storms coming through there before. Now, when it comes to this, a lot of people are saying he's wrong for taking the knife, and this, I don't know if I can say the word, but so when I say poking, I don't mean poking, I mean STABBING, right? But poking the other guy, the other teenager, the other young man. And yes, I want to make sure I get this out. Yes, it was a bad decision to do that or to handle it that way. But no. Mr. Breaking News, how can you say yes, but no? Okay. Yes, I get what you're saying. It could have been handled differently. I agree with that. But however, what I'm not going to do is skip over or allow you to skip over the fact that had these brothers not approached him and messed with him, none of it would have had to take place. None of it. Let me put it to you this way. Hold on. Jess Ann says, sad what happened in Texas. Bullying is a real issue and leads to unaliving and self-deletion too often. Yes, it does, bestie. It's a sad thing. It's a sad thing. Sharita said, my bestie Sharita said, hashtag that part. Yes, we have to address it. Let me put it to people, because still, even when I put it that way, such as the other day, when I put it that way in somebody's thread, this other guy, he does a duet with my video response to that person and says, well, you don't know what you talking about. He wasn't even, you know, and of course I got flagged because I responded to him, don't be a RACCOON. And I guess per TikTok standards, that's frowned upon, or that's a strike, that's a violation. I could have called him what I really wanted to call him, and then you would have had a reason to strike my page. So, POS Cowboy. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Regardless if I've been to Texas, if I've lived in Texas, or if I wasn't there, common sense, it goes with you everywhere. Don't matter where you're at. Right? And common sense tells me, and then funniest thing too, people. He's like, you're just saying, let me get it. Let me get him right. Hold on.
You're just saying that because the color of his skin. That's the only reason you're trying to say is self-defense.
It should have, when I saw MAGA underneath his name, I should have just left him alone then, right? Like, because to me, a BLK person being a MAGA fan is just like, what? You know? Like, for real. That don't make sense. So, like I was telling that person, because the conversation was between me and another person before he decided to chime in. And by the way, brother, don't have your wife looking on my page or your girlfriend looking on my page, man. That's, come on, man. Right? Just sit down, Jit, and listen and learn. I sent you the links to videos to educate yourself. A lot of people say, well, he wasn't under his team's tent. For the vast majority of people who ran track in high school or on some level, hey, Sharita said, get Michelle on his girlfriend. Listen, you know what? I hadn't even mentioned it to her. Because I know my wife will get at her. And she will set her straight. Because, see, a lot of people, they think just because my wife is a YT lady, she doesn't understand or get our mind frame and our train of thought. They don't know that my wife is from Dayton, Ohio. And if you haven't been to Dayton, Ohio, then you don't understand that she's probably one of the BLK's YT women walking the earth, because she grew up in that culture. She grew up in that environment. I'm not saying she knows how it feels to be BLK, nor does she profess or proclaim to. But she understands where we're coming from. And this is not a racial rant, people. In fact, this is what I'm trying to get you all to understand. Let's take race out of this completely. And let's just focus on the event in itself. Let's just take color out of it, right? People say, well, he shouldn't have had a knife at an event. People, they live in Texas. The way of life in Texas, most men, boys, carry knives. Majority own pew-pews. It's just commonplace down there. But what you fail to realize is that there has been an altercation with them before, prior to. Marie says, yes, we do here in Texas. Thank you, Bestie. Like, I don't understand why there's such a big outcry, outroar over this. Like, now, you can go, if you've ran track or anything like that before, bad weather happened, it's nothing for you to go to another team's tent to take shelter if that's closest to you. Because at the end of the day, all schools are looking out for the well-being of their student athlete. And when you have schools that's in close proximity, because that was another thing that the jit that was trying to correct me on his little duet with my video. He was trying to say they didn't even know each other. Oh, let me get him right.
They didn't go to the same school. They didn't even know each other. You don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Check this out, Cletus. Duet this. Their schools, their respective high schools, were like 10 to 15 minutes apart from each other. Now, both individuals were star athletes at their respective high school. Now, I can tell from your picture and your actions that clearly you was never an athlete, and I guess you didn't mean much in school anyway, because if you were, you would know that when you are a star athlete at a school, you're pretty much known in the area. Okay? That's how that works. So they knew each other. So, people, now I'm speaking to you all. I'm off him. I gave him enough time. I'm talking to you all that's in here now. Understand one thing. The media don't give you the complete story. Okay? Because they have a narrative that they have to paint too. They don't have to, but they choose to in order to stay in line with those powers that be that we speak about when we talk about the entertainment industry. That's right, Sharita. You're right, Bestie. They go low, we go high. Exactly. So I'm going to put it to you all this way. The media, they do have the ability to continuously divide us. They do paint a narrative that's untrue. It doesn't give you the whole story. Carmelo Anthony worked 2 jobs. It was 3.7 GPA. Was getting college offers to continue his education. Tracy Smith 5, welcome to the live, says people don't want Anthony to suffer, but people need to remember his family has him, not victim. Well, here's the thing with that. The coach was so rude to him. That's what Sharita was saying. Here's the thing with that. We all feel bad for the family that lost a son. I'm a father that lost my son when he was 16. Not in the same way or the same manner, but nonetheless, not all people. Yes. Not all people want. Yeah, I get that. And again, I said it before, Tracy, and I'm gonna say it again. To those people that are YT people who don't have this race hate in their heart, we thank you. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you. right? But for those that do, there's no love for you. Just Ann says, I could not imagine losing one of my babies. Right. I don't wish that on nobody. I don't wish that on my worst enemy. I live with that daily. Okay? So I know the feeling, not having your baby no more, not being able to hear their voice anymore. I get it. Tracy Smith 5 says, I grew up in Baltimore City. No hate here. Good. And see, and we appreciate you. That's what I'm saying. Like, I want you. Rose, thank you for that heart me. I appreciate that, Bessie. How you doing? That's what it's so vital. I get, because when we take up for people like this, Carmelo Anthony situation, it's already geared towards like, and I ain't gonna bring him up, but like him and others, where you're only doing it because he's this color. No, we're doing it because that's just it. Come on, man. Like, what do you not know? For every action, there's a reaction. Do you not know that for a cause, there's an effect? You understand? Let me break that down. Cause you went over to this person and messed with him and picked on him after picking on him prior to, cause you went over there and did that, the effect was you got, and that's not a race thing. It's just a common sense thing, right? Yes, Tracy said whether he agree or not, it's nice to apply with heart and education. It's it. That's all. I wouldn't even be talking or getting at him this way had he had done that. Sharita says, whenever you have a wicked king, wicked people come out. Say less, bestie. Say less, bestie. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play this. And my whole reasoning for doing this, Just Ann says, it is not okay on either end. It's not. Listen, it's not okay. It's not okay. It's a bad thing to do that. You know, I can't say that I wish he would have reacted the way he reacted, but I can't say that when you live in a place that is not that many of your kind there, and their justice is always to hold down people of said color. When you put somebody in a corner and you threaten them, you know you don't know how they're gonna react. Just saying, said sometimes you feel the last resort is the only resort. Yeah. I mean, again, I don't know how far the altercation went between them that happened prior to this incident. I don't know how far that altercation went to. But what I do know is people saying they didn't know each other. That's a lie. That's just a lie. Secondly, they had picked on him prior to, and since I don't know how far that altercation got, I don't know what they did to him prior to. Thirdly, they had friends, the twins had friends that attended the same high school that Carmelo attended, and their friends was picking on him and bullying him at his school to the point where he didn't want to go to school. That's 3. Number 4, neither one of the twins ran track. So why were they at the track meet? And if you say, well, they might have had friends that was on the track team, so then why not just support them? Why go out of the way to mess with this person? Someone you had already picked on prior to. Tracy Smith says, we as older people say it all the time. Kids today don't respect like BLK or white. Yeah, respect like BLK or white. Yes, I agree. Julie said that's false. Okay, what's false, love? YT people. Sharita says YT people keeps seemingly asking for apologies about the incident. Look at his background. You talking about Carmelo's background? Hey, Deb, how you doing? Oh, Austin. Yeah. They didn't have a past relationship. Okay, Julie. Sit down. Put on your seatbelt. Let's go. Make sure you run this back to your peoples now, okay? Listen.
Reduced Anthony's bond from $1 million all the way down to $250,000. J.D. Miles was there for it. He's live for us right now outside the Collin County Jail. Anthony just left. We saw the video. What else do we need to know?
That's right, Doug and Nicole. Just 6 hours or about that much time after a judge lowered his bond, Carmelo Anthony was released. The judge who made the decision warned the accused murderer that if he violates any terms of his probation or tries to leave his home, he will be brought back right here to the Collin County Jail.
Carmelo, do you have anything that you'd like to say to the victims?
Carmelo Anthony emerged from the Collin County Jail 13 days after his arrest for the murder of Austin Metcalf. The high school student had nothing to say as he headed to his parents' home, where he will be confined to an ankle monitor. It's the result of a hearing this.
Hold on 1 second, Julie. I'm going to get you. Hold on 1 second. Hey, Bessie, I'm sorry you still hurting, but make sure if it keeps hurting, you go back and let them know. I hope and I pray you start feeling better soon.
Morning over whether to lower his bond. The families of both Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf arrived at the Collin County Courthouse this morning with extra security in and around the courtroom. A new defense attorney representing the Frisco teen accused of murder had his client's father testify about his son's character, telling the judge he was a captain of his football and track teams and that he held 2 jobs while in school. He's an A student.
And Julie, they're talking about Carmelo, not Austin. Let's go.
Andrew Anthony, does he have plans to go to college? Yes, sir.
And prior to this, what was on his mind was what college he was going to go to. This is a tragedy all the way around for both families.
And look, Carmelo is going to beat this case. And later on in this video, I'm going to show you how. But I'm seeing racist Caucasian people and are very upset right now. Like, damn, y'all really want to see a black man rot in prison for defending himself. The game is cold, but I already told y'all they will be okay. Stop tripping. You want to know how many of our people died at the hands of racist Caucasian people, and they walked away scot-free.
And we ain't talking about all white people neither. I also want to put that out there, okay? So when he say the racist Caucasian, we ain't talking about all white people, okay? Our white people that's not, we love you. We love you. We are in unity with you. In fact, that's all we want is unity. Let's go.
No prison time, low bail, make it make sense. Oh, you think I'm just talking? Run the tape.
The death of an upstate New York inmate. A group of corrections officers now facing charges in the beating death of Robert Brooks, which was caught on camera. The officers are pleading not guilty to those charges tonight. News 4's Charles Watson joining us live from our newsroom with the latest at this hour. Charles.
Yeah, Natalie, at least 9 state corrections officers face a judge as they heard for the first time the charges laid out against them and an indictment handed up by an Oneida County grand jury and unsealed in court today.
An 8-count indictment naming corrections officers charged in conjunction with Brooks' death. 5 officers directly involved in the beating hit with second-degree murder charges and manslaughter for 3 other corrections officers who allegedly failed to stop the brutal attack. The beating was caught on officer body cam video hours after Brooks was transferred to Marcy Correctional Facility just north of Utica to serve out the remainder of a 12-year sentence for first-degree assault. In the clip captured on December 9th, you can see several officers pummeling Brooks, who was handcuffed to an infirmary bed, punching, kicking, and even lifting him by his neck.
Hold on. Hey, Julie, they not talking about Carmelo Anthony. They're talking about 9 YT correctional officers. 1 BLK handcuffed inmate and they're beating him. Where's the outrage from you guys?
As others stand by and watch. At a press conference today, Special Counsel William Fitzpatrick revealing Brooks endured even more abuse than we see on camera.
Robert was beaten on 2 prior occasions between 9/07 and the time
right,
of his
Sharita
death.
just mentioned Trayvon Martin, who is unalive. That's right. That's right.
Our investigation further revealed that there was no provocation.
They walked off scot-free. No charges. Yes, they beat him to unalive. You right, unalive. You right, Be Nice. Walked out scot-free. Julie, where's the outrage? Where's the out? He was handcuffed. What danger was he? Why are y'all not upset about that? Don't worry. Don't worry, Julie. We're going to get to the part you said they didn't know each other. I'm trying to tell you. This is hashtag I'm going to say it. We present you with the real.
The incident igniting protests here in the streets of New York City, with people calling for justice and accountability. 2 things family members and loved ones of Brooks say was missing in the hearings today as they watched the judge grant bail to all of the officers who were in court today.
I'm not surprised in the least. It's a finely oiled machine.
Hey, what's going on, little brother? How you doing? Just checking in real quick and saying hello, big brother. Okay. Hey, pop your earbud in. You want to hear this is the last segment. This is the last segment. You might want to ride out with this one, little brother. I hope your day is going good at work, too. Deb said that video was awful. What they did to him, it wasn't too far from where I live. See, I didn't even know that, Deb. But see, so you know what I'm talking about, right? My cousin is in here. He said he must have been hurting their feelings, right, with the handcuffs on, right? Took all 9 of them to do something like that. But there's no outrage from people like Julie. Hey, thank you for that crown, little brother. I appreciate that. Thank you. Hold on. Let me catch that. Valerie says, I'm going to go way back. A former NYCPD, Frank Serpico, said back then there was only a handful of, it shut off. I don't know what you were saying after that. But okay, here it is. Handful of bad PD, but today there's only a handful of good PD. Let's give it up for her on that, because that's true. Sharita says there's never any outrage on the BLKs, for the BLKs. And that's what I'm trying to prove. Let's stop moving the goalposts. Stop moving the goalposts based on who it's happening to. Please sit tight. You got to run. Okay, got to run, big brother. I would stay, but as soon as I got back into the building, it'll. As soon as you get back into the building, it'll drop. Okay, no problem. Hey, I'm gonna try to put it on my YouTube. So just go check it out there. Have a good day and be careful.
The system. And until we collectively come together and decide that we're going to do something about this system, then everything is going to remain the same.
Charges may be good, but not releasing them. How you release murderers into the streets?
So like I said, racist Caucasian people, stop crying. It could be worse. And when it comes to Carmelo Anthony going home, y'all will be okay. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, huh? Well, in this case, the knife. And look, I'm not gonna lie. I've been looking all over social media, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I love seeing my people stand together, especially content creators. And I know, we still have.
Okay, thank you for joining us, Valerie. Have a good day. Make sure you come back.
See, you have to understand the mind of a racist Caucasian person.
Prince of Poem said, Carmelo is innocent. I speak as a criminal justice major. I appreciate that, Prince of Poems. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Will you please tell these people they got to take the color of the skin out of it and address the facts and the incidents as they happened. Right? They just got to. Like, I just don't understand why, when it's a situation where man, I don't even know how to present this because I'm not trying to create division. I'm not. Why is it when it's a BLK person that unalived a YT person, justifiably unalived a YT person, they get mad? But all day, every day, we can have it to where YT person, a guy or whatever, unalives BLK people or a person, and it's an ordinary day for them. It's nothing. Why is that? Why? I don't understand. Prince of Pawn said it was clearly a stand your ground self-defense case. Thank you. You hit the nail right on the head right there. Prince of Pawn. So stand your ground. Okay. Let me get back to it. But let me put y'all here. They're in Florida, Jacksonville, Florida. There is a gas station located off. It's a gate gas station located off Southside Boulevard, close or going towards the Avenues Mall. There was a BLT young man who pulled up playing his music loud. And there was a YT older man that didn't like the fact that he was playing his music loud. Some words were exchanged, and the older YT man and unalived. Thank you for the follow. I'm going to follow you back after the show. You can count on it. My word is bond. I'm going to follow you. Unalived the younger BLK young man and got off on stand your ground. The BLK younger man did not even provoke him. He's in his own car listening to his music. Regardless if it was loud. That's right. You down there. You live there, Sharita. You know what I'm talking about. You in Florida. Am I lying? He's in his own car listening to his own music. Who cares how loud it is? That's his car. That's his business. He didn't approach the older YT man. He didn't instigate anything. But yet, the older YT guy and unalived him and got off on a stand your ground case or matter or whatever. Judgment. Julie, where's the outrage?
Can sleep perfect at night when they get away from murdering our people. But when the tables turn, they really can't believe it. Carmelo Anthony protected himself from cowards, from twin cowards. And this boy even said it himself. He said his twin brother grabbed on Carmelo Anthony first. And in my opinion, you can't be out here just walking around grabbing on people.
His twin brother. Yeah, we know that's Florida and this is in Texas. Yes, we know that. We're aware of that. We're aware of that. What we're trying to identify, or what we're trying to point out, is the fact of the matter. In Florida, the guy wasn't even bothering nobody. And the man, he wasn't bothering the man that unalived him. Yet the man that unalived him still got off on a stand your ground. In this case, in Texas, these boys went over and messed with him and instigated it. That's what we're saying. Hold on. Or you, please tell me. Okay. Yeah, that's what we were saying. So, like, that's a difference, right? When you say he was defending himself, right? Why, Little Two, why is that the first thing y'all run to? Why are y'all not concerned with YTs shooting up, pew-pewing up schools? You're more concerned with having your rights to carry than you are the situation. Please don't use that as a deflection. It don't work here. Hey, Julie, I'm getting to it, baby. I got you, baby. I know I told you
punching
something.
on people. It's not going to end well, especially if you're Caucasian grabbing a black person. Never do that to the non-racist Caucasian people that watch my channel. Please listen to me. Whatever you do, never, ever, ever grab a black person and attempt to remove them from a certain area because you will regret it. That's why Carmelo asked the cops, was Austin okay? Because he didn't try to end his life, but you can't go around punching on black people. You can't go around.
Because we don't play the victim card. That don't even make sense. And I usually don't even entertain a bot. So do me a favor. Come talk back to me when you got an actual picture of you, and because right now you're irrelevant. Okay. You still not answering the question. You trying to deflect everything. We're not about to do that. We're not about to do that. Okay. So let's go, people. We about to continue back. All right. We just had to show somebody the door. I got you, Julie.
People, because those slavery days are over. And then you have people saying that he's going to prison because he had a knife on campus. That's going to be an easy argument to win in Carmelo's favor. For one, he has the best attorney in Texas, and he was at a track meet. He can use that knife for anything. That knife could have been used for cutting tape, for anything. But this is the real reason why Carmelo Anthony will win his case. Check this out. And this article is by TMZ. They had the best article when I was doing my research, so I went with them. It was published April 15, 2025, which was yesterday. The judge who reduced Carmelo Anthony's bond this week is getting some added security, TMZ Sports has learned, after law enforcement says she has been the recipient of threats following her key decision in the murder case. The Collin County Sheriff's Office told us Tuesday it's beefed up protection around Judge Angela Tucker.
You know, I felt like it was acceptable.
That's a commercial. Hold on.
They choice to lower the alleged high school track meet unalive bail from $1 million to $250,000. The CCSO said court staff and concerned citizens reported the menacing remarks made against the official, and now it's a team of investigators as well as the FBI are probing the matter. Hold up. I thought we were the animals. I thought we were the so-called bad people. You see, they showing their true colors. And see, racist people want to be able to bully and control black people with no consequences. But I told y'all, those days are over. How you sending threats at a judge because a black man was defending himself? Teach your damn kids to keep their hands to themselves.
Hold on. Hey, yeah. So, can somebody explain that to me? Julie, can you or one of your counterparts please come on here, love, and let us know why y'all feel it's okay? And I'm not, when I say y'all, I don't mean you, baby girl, because I'm quite sure you're not doing it. But why is it okay for people to threaten a judge? But there's no outrage over that. Y'all are okay with that. Another question, and then we're gonna get back to it. You know, I'm gonna wrap up the show in a minute. But another question: why are y'all so worried about crimes and criminals, yet you elected one to run the country? I'm sorry. I might have got ahead of myself on that.
It's that simple. You people think that sending threats to a judge is going to help y'all with this case? Make it make sense. If the individual responsible is identified, the CCSO said potential charges could include unlawful disclosure of residence, address, or telephone number, and obstruction or retaliation. It's unclear exactly what the contents of the comments made against Tucker were, but the judge reportedly turned her X, aka Twitter, page private shortly after Monday's hearing due to them. So I'm going to just be honest. I feel like Carmelo Anthony can beat this case. You got goddamn racist people sending threats at a judge. Then you got the Metcalf family. They divided as hell. And in my opinion, by them going on all those news outlets right after the murder, I think that was a big mistake because in court, you cannot change your story. And I'm hurt that Carmelo and his family have to go through this just because he was defending himself. But in America, they don't want a black man defending himself against racism. But I'm so happy to see a beautiful black successful family. Carmelo Anthony was in high school working 2 jobs, captain of the football team, and he was a great student. So in my opinion, I feel like God and the ancestors will have his back in this fight.
Okay.
We will also. So welcome home, Carmelo Anthony.
Hold on. So Julie, not this one. It didn't. Hey, good morning, baby. How you doing? Okay. Julie, can you comment again real quick, because I got the wrong thing up that I'm going to prove to you they know each other. They have a history prior to this. I'm doing good, baby. You doing all right? That's my daughter right there, everybody. My beautifully interracial daughter. You see? I'm not taking up for him just because of his skin color. I'm taking up for him because it's justifiable what he did. Did Julie leave? Julie, I'm trying to offer you a level of understanding. I'm trying to get you where you need to be, because I need you to keep that same energy to go and tell the truth to your base that think that he was in wrong or that they didn't know each other when they did. Because I tried to tell you before I even opened up this segment that the media isn't telling you all the same, the whole story in regards to make us separate, right? Carmelo, JD Will, shout out to you, said Carmelo is a hero. My 6-year-old carries a butcher knife now at his soccer games in case he gets fouled. Yeah, I guess it could be fouled. Sharita said they want privilege. But yeah, but we can't do that. We can't keep moving the goalposts. Wrong is wrong. Let me tell y'all something. Wrong is wrong. It don't have a color. It don't have an age range or anything like that. Wrong is wrong. Just saying, since they want to keep us divided, because if we unite, they won't be powerful. Please pin your comment, bestie. Please pin your comment. That's exactly what it's about. That's all it's about. And I tried to tell you, I tried to warn you all that think he's some kind of thug or something like that. I tried to warn you all before we even got into this segment. I tried to warn y'all. The media isn't telling you all the full story because they want to keep us divided. They have a narrative and an agenda to carry out. Now, truth be told, let's not even play around with it. Truth be told, if it was any one of y'all kids at that track meet and 2 BLK women, girls or guys, whatever, if you got a son, then the guys, if you got a daughter, we talking about in court, then girls. But if your child was at that track meet and 2 BLK students came over and did the same thing to your child, you would want your child to defend themselves. And if they defended themselves by doing that, you would be perfectly okay with it. You could see where the self-defense come in at there. Right? So keep that same energy. Don't allow color to sway your judgment, you know? Right? We got another troll in here. It's not self-defense if his life wasn't in danger. He was being jumped by 2 people. What are you saying? You got another one. We got a live one, boys. Gary says, what he did was cold-blooded, unaliving. Okay. No, he wasn't, dude. You're wrong. No, Garrett, you wrong. They shouldn't have walked over there and messed with him. Sue says, why do you keep spreading misinformation? He was not being jumped. How do you think his phone got broken? Sue? They slapped it out of his hand. He said, good old boys in here. Yeah, exactly. See, Gary, thank you for saying that. He shouldn't have been there. He shouldn't have been there. It's a free country. He's free to go wherever he wants. See, they coming out now. See, this is the problem. This is exactly, but it's okay. It's okay, because what y'all fail to realize is your racism is causing you not to be rationalism, not to have rationalism. You understand? Because at the end of the day, they did attack him. They had done it prior to. And to your point, what was your name? Possum Jenkins? What was your name? Gary. Gary, you said, hey, he shot him bam there. Okay, well, guess what? Austin or his brother, neither one of them was on the track team. So they shouldn't have been there either. Cletus? Y'all are funny, man. And then the other one, why are you out here spreading misinformation? No, the media is spreading misinformation. I'm telling you the truth. Now, whether you can accept it or not is your problem, not mine. But just like introvert rockstar said, teach your kids to keep their hands to themselves. And we wouldn't be doing this right here. You understand? We wouldn't be doing it. We wouldn't even be here had they minded their own business. Okay? And before you try to say that, hey, he was a thug, he was this, what about the picture with him holding the pew-pew? Well, what about the picture with the brothers holding pew-pew? It's Texas. Okay, Sue, send me that information where you saw that Carmelo Anthony's advocate come out and say all these things are not true, because I just literally got finished playing. I guess it must have been before you got in here, because clearly you missed it. But I just got finished playing his attorney and what his attorney said, and we heard nothing like that. So why are you buying all the misinformation, ma'am, that your local news station is telling you? It's not true. I'm telling you the truth. Listen. It's going to come out. It's going to come out. It's going to come out. And I'll tell y'all something else. I'm going to help y'all out now. I'm going to stop playing. I'm going to help y'all out, right? Okay? And do you think the media would lie? Let me ask, okay, Sue, since you want the attention, I'm going to give you this. Okay? So, do you think that Austin's dad wouldn't get on the news and lie? Because in the news, it's presented like they are one big happy family. But in reality, we know they're no longer together. We know that the mom can't really stand the dad. We also know that she left the dad when the twins were 4 years old. And he had caught an SA charge. But the media doesn't tell you that, Sue. And that's what I'm trying to get you to understand, Sue. The media is not telling you everything, because they are trying to create a narrative. That's what I'm trying to get you and Billy Bob to understand. Okay? But it's okay. It's okay. I get it. It's a lot to digest. And it's just so hateful when it doesn't work out in your favor. Now, are we saddened by the fact that a 17-year-old, not a YT 17-year-old, not a BLK 17-year-old, a 17-year-old in general has lost life? That's what the sad part is, right? Yes, we are sad about that. We are sad about that, right? But I'm going to let you all know something else. If Carmelo was the person that the media is trying to paint him out to be, and if it was so heinous of a crime and he was just so out of fashion and acted the wrong way, do you think they would have lowered his bond from $1 million to $250,000 and let him out with an ankle monitor? Because see, if it was that heinous, he wouldn't have been able to, he wouldn't have had no bond. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. But you know what? I know it seemed like I'm on here and I'm going at it with y'all, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Truthfully, I pray for y'all. I really do pray for y'all. I pray that you all come to a point where you get the mentality, not only here, but also get it in your heart to get race out of your judgment. That way we can come together, man, and be a better country. We can be a better society. Okay? Because I know, y'all pop on here and you see a BLK man talking in defense of another young BLK man who unalived a YT man, and you just think I'm just pro-black. No, I'm pro-everybody. If it was a BLK person that did wrong, I would just say he's wrong. I'll be completely transparent with you. Right? Sharita said it's a bloody curse. Marie says, united we stand, divided we fall. That part. Mike YD said, pro-God. Mike ID. Mike ID. Pro-God. That's it. Like I said before, I'm going to say it, and I want, Sue, come closer. Billy Bob, come closer. The other person that was commenting, I don't know. Your little icon was all black. I don't know. But come closer. Hear me. I said it before, and I'll continuously say it. If you look in the good book, God said, love thy neighbor. He did not say what color neighbor. When he says we're all his children, he didn't specify one race. So please, I pray that you get that racial stuff out of your heart, man, and start seeing things for what it's really worth. What y'all fail to realize, and this is how y'all should start to get, when someone of a BLK skin tone do something that's just completely wrong, we actually be like, man, why are they acting that way? Like, why did they do that for? That was not smart. And that ain't the word I want to use, but that's not smart. You all, no, he had a right to do it. He shouldn't have been there, although it's the free country he lived in, and he was on the track team, and his track team was running in the race. But he shouldn't have been there. Nope. That's not the answer, Cletus. That's not how it goes. And when you sit there and you say, well, he's a thug. That's what he is. He's a thug. He shouldn't have done that. And he wouldn't have. No, he's a 3.7 GPA student. Worked 2 jobs. Highly intelligent. And what I don't get, and I promise y'all, I'm gonna let you have your day after this. But I gotta get it out. What I don't understand is when it comes to people like Carmelo Anthony or BLK people, BLM people, and people who stand up against the misinjustices going on and stuff like that. Y'all, they're thugs. Those are thugs. But when you got people, YT, climbing up the capital of our country, breaking in, defecating on stuff, destroying stuff, unaliving police officers, you call them patriots. How does that work? How does that work? Oh, we got one more. Sherry Hill 243. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. If he's so smart, why would he? I'm not gonna say that word because I don't want to get someone, because two someones was jumping on him. Sherry. Does that make sense? How is that so hard to make sense? So let's say, Sherry, you out at the grocery store, you're pushing your cart, you're minding your own business, and two people come. I ain't gonna even say BLK. I'm just gonna say people. I'm not gonna be so shallow and to think about color like you all are. I'm just gonna say two people. Two people come up to you and they try to grab your purse and knock you to the ground and and you got a knife and you can get to it. It's on you. You're gonna take up for yourself by any means necessary, right? Right, Sharita. Roughed them up the day. If it wasn't the day before, it was a few days prior to, you know? We got another one, says misinformation. I'm not even entertaining. We've already covered that. You more than watched the replay. You can go back and watch the replay and catch how it's not misinformation, but the media is misinforming you all. Marie says, was it smart when our people were unalive back in the day for no reason? Yeah, good question, right? Cheryl Brown says, your feelings and the law are two different things. In facts, facts. But I bet you they don't see nothing wrong with that, Marie. They ain't got no problem with what happened in the past. Hell, they probably still have picnics. Knowing that the word picnic comes from pick a you-know-what to dangle them from a tree. But they ain't got no problem with that, huh? You know? Yeah, Mike. So in reference to my to my analogy, yeah, they was trying to steal his purse. Does it make sense to you now? You got it? Love it. Love it when y'all come out. Can only see it one way. All because it's a BLK young man. But you know, hey, shout out to the judge. Thank God that the judge is calling it down the middle. And y'all are so mad that now you're sending her threats and stuff on her life. But you okay with Kyle Rittenhouse getting out, huh? Fine with that. You got no problem with that. You're cool with Zimmerman and what he did to Trayvon. Got no problem with that. Whoever, hey, people, I never knew that y'all, and when I say y'all, I'm talking about the racist YT people. I never knew that y'all was afraid of a bag of Skittles and an Arizona tea. Huh. I never knew. Baby G2, we tried to say both families is hurt. We tried to say that, but you know, they don't want to see it that way. They didn't want to see it that way. So, you know, we had to go in on them a little bit. Hey, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because here's the one thing I know. Regardless of how they wish, you said, Baby G2 says, I've been screaming it. Yeah, because they can't see past the color part. They can't see past the color part. And then they want to sit here and say, he's a criminal. He should still be in jail. All the while they voted for a criminal that's got 34 convictions to be a president. So don't sit here and act like crime is what you care about. I have more respect for you if you just keep it $150 and just say you mad because he's BLK. Thank you all for joining me today. I've been your self-proclaimed BLK news reporter, Mr. Breaking News. reporting to you live from the newsroom. You all have a great day, and we'll see you later. Goodbye.